You say in the book that Phil Silvers was the only show business kid your mother would let you associate with.
Yes, that's true. That's not only that was the, well, at that age, she said, oh, you go out with Phil Silvers. You go with him. He's a very, very nice, clean-cut American boy. And the first place he took me was to a house in Newark. But it was too late.
Yeah.
Because I had already been deflowered.
Yes, yeah.
But I enjoyed it. But so the apple-faced kid who had a wonderful voice, by the way, and but he was, bless him, one of the world's greatest comedians.
You would rate him that high?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I would rate Jackie Gleason, too.
Yeah.
Because they knew their craft. I was on with Carson last week.
Right.
I got to give a big plaudit and kudo to Johnny. Carson, see, when you look at him in the past 25 years, you think that that seat that he's sitting in as the host is an easy seat to sit in. Oh, no. Toughest. First place, he's got to be a straight man. Second place, he's got to listen. Third place, he's got to read the books or know what some of the books are. He's got to be intelligent. He's got to be a college graduate.
Sure.
He's got to be able to talk to this one, to that one.
Why was Joe E. Lewis the quintessential saloon comic? You said he was that...
Because he related.
Interesting.
He was the guy that he was playing to.
Mm-hmm.
Answer. He spoke their talk. He talked their talk. Talking them on horses. How did you think they bring them on? You got an answer for that? Before he came on the stage, not a drum roll, no music, you heard which is the cornet or the trumpet sound before each race.
Sure.
Then they didn't play. Here he is, Joey, Chicago, Chicago. And he talked the language that the people in the audience talked.
Sure.
That's why he was the quintessence of one of the great, and sang risque songs, not dirty songs, double connotation songs, but he had this style. And he always had a drink in his hand. And he brought in, those days, I'm not talking gamblers, he brought in, thank you, he brought in drinkers that put a bottle on a table. That's how they made their money in those days.
Sure, sure.
You know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
So that's why, aside from being special with a style, there was no style like Joey Lewis.
Sure.
Sang special songs. The groom couldn't get in. Poor little February on account of 28 days.
Sure, yes.
Especially paid a lot of money for songs.
Sure.
And that's why he was the king of the nightclubs.
King of the nightclubs, yeah.
And I was the queen.
You talk about the fact that, go back to Eddie Cantor for a minute, he always appeared very funny, yet you say comedy was very hard for him. Does that mean he was not naturally funny and he needed writers? Is that what you...
I would say that, Al, that comedy wasn't... He had a... Well, listen, if it's not on the page, it's not on the stage.
Yeah, that was...
So with him, if it wasn't in the script, it wasn't funny.
I see.
He had to have what we call jokes, which separates the comics from the comedians. One thing that I loved, Eddie Cantor was a wonderful man. He was distinctive, and he did Susie with the white glasses and blackface, and so he was imitated. There was only one like him. But if you go to see a picture called Roman Scandals today, this old Sam Goldwyn picture, he'll get through singing and say, "So if you knew Susie like I know Susie, oh, what a girl." That's the delivery in the song. Now the book starts of dialogue. And he'd still be talking the way he was singing. There was no transition. He'd say, "Miss Clark, I want you to meet Mr. Davis." And it was steady. It was mechanical.
Sure.
It was too studied. We had a lot of studied comedians who became very big. Lee Arnero, Bobby Clark, as wonderful as Joel Grey is, he's a puppet.
Sure. Sure.
every move the same way. Don't you know what's true? Relax. I'm not putting down Joel. I think he's tremendous.
Sure.
But that's from being rehearsed, and ever changing, which is all right if you're doing a play or a musical. Now, when you're doing a loose stand-up, you better be very loose and aggressive.
Sure, sure. Interesting.
But Cantor had that problem.
Yes, yes. But still one of the greats.
Oh!
Without any doubt.
Heavyweight
Sure, sure, sure.
was Jolson Cantor. Jolson Cantor. And Cantor was jealous of Jolson.
Orson Welles is mentioned in your book, and both of you like magic and card tricks. Did you ever get together and he'd show you some, you'd show him
No,
some?
no. We had something going between us. So when he lived in Italy, I'm fairly good with the cards as a mechanic. Somebody would pick a card in Beverly Hills. Difference of 8 hours. I wouldn't force any card, but they would pick a card and they'd call his number in Italy, and he'd tell him the card.
No kidding.
Yeah. Leslie, you want to call him right now?
Oh, I'd like to.
He's in heaven or hell.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, but we had not complete. Well, he was more of an illusionist,
Yes, yes.
and not with cards.
Yeah, and a pretty good one, too.
It was good.